they're usually wrong. If I asked you right now, who are you? What would you say? Just think about it for a second. Today, I want to talk about one of the most difficult and important questions I ever had to answer. Who are you? Well, I am Swati Mukherjee, but that's just my name, isn't it? If my parents had named me something else like Sherlock Holmes or Harry Potter, I would still be the same person. I wouldn't suddenly get magical powers or become a genius detective just because of a name, right? So that's not who I am, that's just what I'm called. So who am I? I'm a relationship coach, but that's what I do. If you had asked me a few years ago, I would have said, I'm an HR professional. I worked with multiple big brands, small startups for about 12 years. It became a part of my identity. Before that, I did my degree in psychology. I worked in call centers, advertising, marketing, sales. I moved across industries. I changed professions multiple times. Have you ever noticed how quickly we define ourselves by what we do? And then I look back and realize something. Every single one of those experiences was teaching me something. Every skill I learned was not only valuable, it was necessary. This is my story. I lost my father to cancer when I was 7. We struggled financially a lot. In college, I worked night shifts in call centers. I attended classes in the morning, slept during the day. My cycle was chaotic, to say the least, and I was barely surviving. But I needed that version of myself. I learned that if I could survive like that, still earn my living, still score well enough to study psychology in a prestigious college, then I was capable of more than I thought. It taught me resilience. It taught me not to give up. After my post graduation in human resource management, I started working as a HR professional. My shift began at 6 a.m. For a night owl, leaving the house at 4:30 in the morning felt like punishment. Every morning for 2 long years, I told myself, today I'm going to quit. For 2 years, I didn't. Not because I couldn't, but because I wanted to learn. That phase taught me endurance. It taught me that I can do hard things if I decide they matter. After that, the journey became slightly easier. I worked with different organizations, I built my identity around my work, and then I realized something. I loved my job, but it wasn't my calling. So I circled back to psychology. In 2018, I became a licensed coach, and that changed my life. Not because I started a coaching business, but because I started applying what I was learning in my own life. When I identified my limiting beliefs and challenged them, everything shifted. My life changed, my relationships changed, my salary grew tenfolds. I was offered roles I had only dreamed of. In 2022, we moved to London. I stopped fully into my coaching journey and life shifted again, not in a way I expected. In 2023, I lost my mother. No one prepares you for that. I lost my father when I was very young, and that was difficult. Growing up without the safety net of a father was hard, but nothing prepares you for losing your mother too. Even now, I don't think I have words for it. The only solace is having, knowing that I did my best for her, and she knew that. I compartmentalized my grief. I opened it slowly, just a crack at a time. My training as a coach helped me to navigate it. Am I completely healed? Maybe not, but I'm working on it. And that brings me to another important question in my journey. Why a relationship coach? And do I have the perfect relationship? No, I don't. I don't believe anyone has a perfect relationship, but I do believe that we can build resilient relationships. And resilience is a skill, it can be learned. This is why I don't talk about fairy tales, I talk about emotional endurance. I was that independent girl who never thought she needed a partner. I built my life and my career on my own. Am I glad to have a partner? Absolutely. But the difference is, I want him in my life. We both have the choice and we choose each other every day, not because we can't live without each other, but because we want to be partners. When people meet you, they see you through their own lens. A married woman in her 30s must have had a sheltered life. Must be nice to have a loving husband and talk about relationships because everything worked out for you, people assume. And that's okay. But here's what most people don't say: I became a coach because I saw what coaching tools did inside my own relationship. I saw how they shifted patterns, how they created safety, how they changed the way we fight, the way we repair, the way we understand each other. And I saw the same shifts in people I worked with. Do I have my life completely figured out? Absolutely not. But I'm living the best way I can, and I'm happy about that. I'm constantly learning, constantly implementing. Every version of me is different from the last. Has anyone here changed completely in the last 5 years? Because I have. For a long time, I wondered how I was supposed to behave as an adult. I'm in my late 30s. I thought I should behave in a certain way. When I think about our parents in their 30s and 40s, they seem to have, everything figured out. They were grown ups. They were so certain. And until a few years ago, I could barely believe that I was an adult. And honestly, I still am not sure how to behave my age. This is the first time I'm this age, so please bear with me. And then I meet people who proudly say they haven't changed in years. That's not something to be proud of. If you don't change, you miss the point of living. Change is constant, growth is necessary, evolution is natural. That is who I am. I cannot be summarized in one word or one sentence. I am my past experiences, I am my aspirations, my dreams, my desires, my fears, my emotions. I am who I believe myself to be. I'm a poet, a writer, a wanderer, a survivor, but not a victim. I choose who I am and I choose who I'm becoming. I'm a work in progress, and I hope I remain a work in progress for the rest of my life. I hope I never stop learning, never stop growing, and never stop reinventing myself. And now I want to ask you, who are you becoming? If you are someone who feels like you're in between versions of yourself, especially in your relationships, if you feel like you are outgrowing old patterns but don't know yet how to build new ones, stay here. This is the work I do. Not perfection, not fantasy, resilience. And that's who I am. And that's who I'm becoming.